Hello, dear fans, friends, and subscribers of Cricket Happenings. This is your host Ram, welcoming you to your daily edition of the Cricket Happenings. And yes, the India-England Test series kicked off yesterday, and as I said, Rajkot was actually making its Test debut because this was the first ever Test match which was played at Rajkot yesterday. And I have to say that contrary to expectations, England have fared very well. They have finished off, even though they were struggling at one point of time for 102 for 3. I don't think they could have had a better start to proceedings as far as India England Test series is concerned. One is Alistair Cook had the luck of the toss, which was good, so he decided to bat first, and his wards finished at 311 for 4. And also, I have a special mention about Joe Root, who went on to score a century. And I'm sure this is probably not Joe Root's first entry into India, but nevertheless, Joe Root was absolutely solid. In fact, from 102 for 3, it was Joe Root and Moeen Ali who took the scoring along. Moeen Ali would be resuming today to proceed towards a century. He's just one short of a century. What a knock from Moeen Ali. And also Joe Root, absolutely solid, 124 runs, and definitely it's a wonderful innings. And one knows that how extremely talented this bloke Joe Root is, and yesterday he showed it to the Indian fans as to why he is. And so that is so. I think England would be very proud of this effort. From 102 for 3, they recovered to 311 for 4. So, and the other match between Lanka and Zimbabwe, today was the fourth day, and as expected, definitely, Rangana Herath decided to extend it. 258 for 9 declared, setting a target of 491, and one can definitely say Rangana Herath has already taken his second 5-wicket bag in this particular test match, and this is his 7th 10-wicket haul in test matches all time. So one can really say the writing is on the wall for Zimbabwe. They have only 3 wickets to fight for now. They already lost 7 wickets in the chase of 491. They're 180 for 7, and one knows that this match is a mere formality, whereas Lanka are going to finish off with a 2-0 clean series sweep against Zimbabwe in this test series. So we'll come back to that, but let's focus on the India versus England match. And as I said, it was a new beginning as the Saurashtra Cricket Association Stadium in Rajkot actually made its test debut with the first test match being played. And also there was a debut on this very ground for Hasib Hamid of England, the youngster 19-year-old boy, the baby-faced Hasib Hamid. And today England were the ones who actually won the toss, and normally, as you know, Kohli had the luck of the coin against New Zealand, but here the luck of the coin deserted Kohli, and England were the ones who won the toss, and Alistair Cook immediately decided that they will bat first. So Alistair Cook and Hasib Hamid started with the Indian bowling being in the hands. India went with a 3-pronged spin attack, and with Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav, they did not go for Ishan Sharma. They decided to stick with Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav, and definitely I would say Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav definitely created the edges, but the problem for India was that there were 3 catches that went a begging. Virat Kohli dropped a catch, Rahane dropped a catch, and so definitely England profited. In the sense, they didn't profit in a big way, but definitely their confidence would have gone up after the catches being dropped. And Alistair Cook and Hamid stitched together a partnership of 47, and we saw Hasib Hamid how beautifully he was coming behind the line of the ball and playing them, and also hit some very nice strokes in his very good knock of 31. The other end, Alistair Cook made 21 with 2 boundaries, and definitely the Mohammad Shami and Umesh Yadav, barring that catches being dropped, they could not make much of an impression. And then once the spinners were into the mix, that was the time the breakthrough was delivered by Ravindra Jadeja as he picked up the wicket of Alistair Cook by getting Alistair Cook rooted to the crease as he was LBW bowled Jadeja for 21 with 2 fours. So that made it 47 for 1 as Hasib Hamid was joined in by the very talented Joe Root. And Hasib Hamid, well, as I said, he looked good in his knock of very short knock of 31. He occupied 82 balls, but that was not the case. He was making his debut, and I thought he definitely showed good match temperament as he scored 31. But Ashwin actually, one could probably say that Ashwin actually befuddled him by getting him LBW for 31 with 6 boundaries. So 76 for 2, and then Ben Duckett came in and joined Joe Root and did not waste any time. He hit 3 boundaries, and once he hit those 3 boundaries, he probably was trying one more against the bowling of Ravichandran Ashwin, but Rahane taking the catch as Duckett was gone for 13 with 3 boundaries, and England definitely looked in a bit of a bother. Not a big bother, but a bit of a bother at 102 for 3. But Joe Root was well entrenched at the crease, and he was in absolutely no trouble facing whether it was pace or spin. He was confidence personified, and he was able to get to grips with this Indian climb and also the Indian pitches here, and he definitely did a good job. And from 102 for 3, definitely they needed the innings to recover, and what a recovery was staged. Moeen Ali joined him, and once Moeen Ali joined him, even though the bowlers, I thought the Indian spin bowlers definitely did a good job, Ashwin, Jadeja, Mishra, but I think Joe Root and Moeen Ali were absolutely equal for it. They really, they really played in a very planned manner. If the field was brought up by Kohli, they decided to go over the top. Other than that, they started stitching together the English innings in a wonderful manner as this partnership really started growing in proportion, and it was a big partnership. It was a 179 run partnership between Joe Root and Moeen Ali. Joe Root was very crisp in his driving, and he's also a good puller of the ball, and also saw some very good strokes played on the onside. Moeen Ali was also looking pretty good, and this partnership reached 281, and that was the time. Once it reached 281, Joe Root went on to hit a century, and since 2014, Joe Root is the one who has actually become the first player from overseas to come and score a century on Indian pitches. So that itself says how great this innings of Joe Root is. For 3 years, no one has scored a century on Indian pitches, and England could be very proud that Joe Root started off this India-England series with a real bang as he contributed 124. So Moeen Ali and Joe Root were doing a good job, and it was 281 on the board, and probably another 10 overs to go before close of play, and that was the time. It was Umesh Yadav's reverse swing or probably the new ball was taken, and Joe Root was a victim as he was caught and bowled by Yadav after making 124 with 11 fours and 1 6. Moeen Ali was still there at the crease as Ben Stokes came and joined him. Ben Stokes was not out on 19 with 2 fours and 1 6, and Moeen Ali was just one short of the magical mark for himself. He was not out on 99 with 9 fours and stumps on day 1. England on the first day of the Test series versus India were 311 for 4, and definitely credit to Joe Root and Moeen Ali, who helped England recover in a big manner and then finally finish off on a high. Mohammad Shami, none for 31. Umesh Yadav, 1 for 68. Ashwin, 2 for 108. Jadeja, 1 for 59. Amit Mishra, 1 for 42. And as I said, dear fans, I definitely said that if you had looked at my Twitter remarks or the tweeting that I did, I definitely said that nothing can be taken for granted. even though there was a lot of talk going on that India are the favorites, but I also always reserved my comments because, as I said, England are a very, very talented team, and one knows that what has happened in the past. It has happened in the past where England have been really dismissed, in the sense they have not been given much value, and then they have really surprised India. So today it was, I wouldn't say it's a similar case, but definitely I definitely expected that England could play well. And look at the recovery that they staged, 102 for 3 to take it to 281. So definitely good job England, they did a good job, and India definitely have the task cut out, because England have still a lot of batting to come. Moeen Ali is well entered into the crease. The ball is a bit new, so that's the good thing. And in the morning, if Shami and Umesh Yadav can generate a bit of pace, a bit of bounce and swing, that would make it pretty interesting, and that would at least give them an opportunity to actually restrict the Englishmen to below 500, because that is very important that they restrict them, because once England amass a total of excess of 500, it can put immense pressure on the Indian batsmen. Well, so that is as far as that match is concerned. Now let's head off to the next match, and the next match that I'm talking about is between Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe, and one was expecting the declaration. As far as the Sri Lankan innings was concerned today, Gunaratne was a victim of Tripano LBW with 8 boundaries, but Kushal Pereira gave some real impetus to the innings with an aggressive 62 with 8 fours and 1 6, absolutely playing in one-day fashion. And then Creamer was the one who was amongst the wickets today. He picked up the wicket of Dilruwan Pereira for 2, Rangana Herath for 4. Lakmal played some cheeky shots to remain unbeaten on 21 with 4 boundaries, as Sri Lanka, in the quest for quick runs and trying to declare, they declared the innings close at 258 for 9, thus setting Zimbabwe a target of 491 runs for victory. As far as the bowling was concerned, Graham Creamer, the captain, did a fine job to finish with 4 for 91 with his spell, 21.4 overs, 2 minutes, 91 runs and 4 wickets. Mumbai had 3, 1 wicket apiece to Pofu and Tripano. And Pofu, I have to say that even though if you look at his wicket tally, doesn't say a lot, but I thought he really bowled well. At one point of time, he bowled a succession of maidens, one could say. Zimbabwe were given a target of 491 runs to chase. They definitely found themselves in trouble right from the beginning, and as I said, this pitch is definitely cracking up, and that was precisely the case, as it was Rangana Herath who started it all by first picking up the wicket of Brian Chari, getting him clean bowled for 8 with 1 boundary. Then Masakadza left the scene. LBW bowled Herath for 10 with 2 boundaries, and Tino Mavoyo was also a victim of the bowling. He was caught in the closing cordon by Kaushal De Silva of the bowling of Herath for 15 with 2 boundaries, which made it 39 for 3. And then we saw a good partnership starting emerging, which was done by 39 for 3, and slowly they started recovering through a partnership which happened between Craig Irvine and Sean Williams. Well, Craig Irvine continued. I mean, he played really well. He continued the good work that he did in the first innings. Sean Williams also continued in the same vein, and both really did a good job, I thought, to help the Zimbabweans recover from 39 for 3 to 113. So that definitely meant that it was a 74-run partnership that happened, which was good for Zimbabwe as the score went on to 113. But that was the time it was Lairu Kumara, the medium pace, the pace bowler, the young pace bowler, picked up broke this stand by picking up the wicket of Sean Williams for 45 with 5 fours and 1 6. And then Malcolm Waller continued his dismal series here against Lanka. He was snapped for naught of De Silva, Ninja De Silva. And then Peter Moore contributed 20 with 3 boundaries. But the man who was staying there at the crease was none other than Craig Irvine. And also Zimbabwe, if at all they had some hope, they wanted Creamer to stay, but the Zimbabwean captain was dismissed cheaply as well by his opposite number, the Sri Lankan captain Rangana Herath, for 5, and that left Craig Irvine unconquered on 65 with 8 fours and 1 6 at close of play. Trepano was with him for company, but definitely, as I said, the writing was on the wall. Zimbabwe chasing 491, finishing at 180 for 7, and they have a mountain to climb, and one can safely say that Sri Lanka would have wrapped up the series tomorrow 2-0. As far as the bowling was concerned, Rangana Herath getting on to his 5-wicket haul, his second 5-wicket haul in the first innings also. As you know, he took a 5-wicket haul. Now he has taken a 5-wicket haul in the second innings as well. 16 overs, 3 maidens, 45 runs and 5 wickets, with the wicket definitely assisting the spinners, no doubt about it. Lakmal none for 47, none for 27 Pereira, none for 42 for Kumara, and the Nanjariswa none for 10. So I think, and Rangana Herath also had his 7th 10-wicket haul of his test career, and Rangana Herath absolutely superb. I thought in this series he has done a wonderful job. I mean, he has handled everything. He is the captain, he had the added responsibility, but even though having the added responsibility of being the captain, Rangana Herath has to be credited for bowling marvelously well to actually really get at the Zimbabwean's neck. So before I actually conclude this cricket happening show, one last thing that I would like to talk about is that a very talented all-rounder by the name Robin Peterson, who used to play for South Africa, has announced his retirement. The former South African all-rounder announced his retirement from all cricket. In fact, if you look at it, he was never a regular in the South African team. He was in and out of the team, and one feels sorry to see that Robin Peterson only played 15 test matches, 79 ODIs and 21 T20s. But one thing about Robin Peterson was he was once used as a real pinch hitter by South Africa, and he delivered the goods. He could biff a few down the ground and into the stands. So that was his capability, and not only that, predominantly he was a very good left-arm spinner and a clean lower order hitter. If you look at his career stats, one could say he did well against Australia, and he also did a good job in the 2011 World Cup, which probably can say that he was the South Africa's top wicket taker in the tournament with 15 wickets in the 2011 World Cup for South Africa. But nevertheless, he has done a wonderful job. But as I said, he was talented, but one definitely feels sorry to see that Robin Peterson played only 15 tests. He definitely played more ODIs, 79, but one would have probably thought that Robin Peterson could have played more than 15 tests. That was there. But nevertheless, he has decided to say goodbye to international cricket. So Robin Peterson, yes, he definitely, as and when he got an opportunity, I thought he did a good job. So that is as far as Robin Peterson's retirement from international cricket is concerned. And tomorrow I'll be back with you once again to talk about the second day's play between India and England, which should be very interesting. And also definitely I would say that tomorrow I'll be talking to you about the Sri Lankan clean sweep of the Zimbabwean series 2-0 when I meet you tomorrow on my Cricket Happening show. That's about it, dear fans and subscribers, and there's more coming tomorrow on my next Cricket Happening show. That's on a Thursday. Till such time that happens, this is your host Ram saying good night.